How's it going, YouTube? It's Rifleman Reviews coming at you today with an update video on my Sig Sauer P220 10 chambered 10mm. This update video is a viewer request. Mainly viewers have wanted to know: is this right, or is this pistol accurate? Is it dependable? Is it reliable? And how's it holding up? So we're going to address a few things. So I took this pistol out to the range today, just to shoot for some groups. They wanted to know how this thing groups out at 25 yards, rested, taking my time. Now, I have about 300 rounds through this particular pistol, and through actually firing 10mm, that cartridge alone. So, take the accuracy results with a grain of salt or sand or whatever you call it. I'm sure as I get more range time, the groups will shrink up, because I know that's generally how it goes for me. So yeah, anyways, once we get into the actual shooting for groups and showing you the targets, then I'll explain myself farther. But yeah, what I have in the magazine here is some Underwood ammunition, 155 grain, jacketed hollow points. These little puppies exit the muzzle right around 1,400 feet per second, and they generate right around 750 foot-pounds of energy. So that's quite a bit of energy. It's one of the hotter loads in the market for 10mm, I'd have to say. So definitely check them out. UnderwoodAmmunition.com. Highly recommended from Rifleman Reviews. Let's put that aside. Make sure the chamber's clear. I know it's clear. I cleared it before the video, but just for all you out there, proper safe handling of firearms is always important, no matter what you're doing, if you're shooting videos or shooting targets. So here's the update. Essentially, this is how my bedside gun that I have. This is how it's usually outfitted. I got my magazine loaded up, one in the chamber. The hammer is lowered. And then I have the TLR one from Streamlight. This is a pretty exceptional weapon light. I've had several of these and throughout the years, and to be honest, I've had one other brand and it wasn't very good. It's from Walmart, but it's like a Nebo or something. It hasn't failed me. It just isn't nearly as nice quality as this one, this Streamlight. Something to know about these weapon lights, though, is they're making them. The manufacturers are making them brighter and brighter as years go on, and it's important to know at night. Say you hear something go bumping around at night in your house, and you got white walls like I do, as you can see in the background, and it's pitch black. Once you touch that light off, your night vision, or whatever night seeing capability you had at that time, is null and void. It's going to disorient you just as much as probably the person in your house or whatever's in your house. So you got to be aware of that, especially if you're in close proximity to white walls or something like that. That's always something to think about. Brighter is not always better for a weapon light. Just think about that. Think about the application you'll be using it in. And yeah, so with that being said, let's go over, before we get into accuracy, let's go over how is this pistol holding up under the abuse of the punishing 10mm cartridge. So let's take a quick look at these rails here. Rails are holding up nice and fine. They're actually, you can see if you look closely at them, they're starting to, I don't want to say polish a little bit, but you can see some shinier spots along the rails where the two rails are meeting, and that friction is starting to wear itself a little bit thinner. It's polishing, and you can see it right there too pretty well. And that's a good thing. That's your firearm breaking in. So some people like to accelerate it and take polishing agents to the rails and stuff like that. I just like the pistol to do it over its own course or its own natural time. So you can do it either way, but I prefer to let the pistol and the engineers work its way out, the engineering in the firearm. So that's one thing. captured recoils, or the guide rod and recoil spring. Everything's doing well. No issues to report there. Next, let's look at the barrel. Standard wear and tear on the barrel. I mean, honestly, it's a Sig. That finish isn't known to be particularly exceptional on the Sig barrel, especially right here where it contacts. Where is that? What is that contact? Well, anyways, where the barrel is sliding and it's contacting the slide. It's actually pretty well. Usually Sigs get a lot of wear right here, but this one's wearing nicely. Not a lot, just mainly underneath the barrel there. Chamber looks good. Rifling still looks good. So, yep, barrel's still in great shape. Take a look at the slide. Two wear points on the slide. You got right here, very normal for Sig Sauers to wear right there. That's where the barrel contacts the slide, and actually that polishing will actually help the function of the firearm, in my opinion. And then the rails look good. Nothing to report on the rails. Everything's looking well. Everything's working as it should. Biggest issue though, it's just a cosmetic issue, is you're getting some brass right there, right above this extractor here. Yeah, I mean it is what it is. It's a working firearm, and if it gets too bad, I guess I could Duracoat it again in the future. Honestly, it's a stainless steel slide, so I mean, if some metal is exposed, I'm not too worried about it because you know, it's got better corrosion resistance properties than, you know, a regular carbon steel pistol. So that's just something that be aware of. It's a minor annoyance for me, but honestly, I'm not counting against it too much. Let's put it back together real quick. And the combat sights are combat night sights, working just fine. Sig Sauer has its own particular way of holding the point of aim. Generally, when you're aiming the pistol, I like to line up the sights, kind of, let's see here. I like to line them up. So here you got the front dot, and then the two dots are lined up just like so, like even. That'll have a tendency to you'll shoot your round a little low, firing that way. Usually you want to stack it a little bit. I don't know, that's just my experience. I might be full of crap or not, but that's what I've noticed. So today you'll notice a lot of my groups are low because they're even. Could be, you know, jerking the trigger down a little bit, but I was trying to be pretty aware of my trigger squeezes. So yeah, so let's get into the accuracy. So here was the accuracy of my P220 right here, 10 shots. This is one of my later groups. So right here you'll notice that's the top round of the group, and here's the bottom round. 10 rounds, so is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10. These are 4.5-inch circles, as compared to my P229, which is my first group of the day. You have this top one here, and it kind of goes around this circle here, down to here. And that, I want to say, maybe I took one off the target, or pulled one off the target, but that was with my 229. Didn't shoot as well with it. Definitely shot better with the P220. So that was rested on my bag at 25 yards. So next we have Underwood ammunition, 180 grains. Sorry, take that back, 155 grains. And I have, these are 5-shot groups. However, you notice each group has about 4 on the target. I had one flyer down low, and then this one also had a flyer down low. So, you know, I was grouping all right for this one, and then I pulled it low. Next. also have another P220 10mm. This is the Remington ammunition, Remington UMC, 180 grain. I actually was grouping a lot better with this stuff today. See, this isn't a bad group right here. I want to say it's like 2.5 inches or something like that. So it's not too bad. And then we have this one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got a very small nick at the bottom of the paper there. And then these ones on top here, those all went to a different group of the target stacked. They went a little bit low off the paper. Here, yeah, that's what it is. Right there. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds here. That's the Remington 180 grain at 25 yards. Then here's the Underwood again, 155. Pulled one of my shots low again, off the target. Yeah. So I think I was, oh, here's my last target too. This one isn't bad. This is one of my better shots with the Underwood. It's 8 rounds. I did pull one off the bottom, but I'm pretty sure this is like 3 rounds right in here. So 1, 2, 3. It was, the paper was opened up when I walked up to it, and then so that's 6, 7 rounds in the bottom. So I know I threw another one off the target too. So I definitely noticed I'm shooting a lot better with the target ammunition rather than my carry ammo. I don't know if it's the more stout recoil of the 155 Underwood ammunition. It's not bad. Like, the felt or perceived recoil for me isn't bad, but there is a little bit more than the 180 grain Remington. So maybe I'll come back and do another review on that 155 stuff. See if I can't shrink the groups a little bit and kind of redeem myself. But like I said, that's me. I know that this pistol can fire a lot more accurate groups. I've seen people hunting with it on YouTube. With, I think they're boar hunting and just completely just knock down a boar just with using this handgun. So it's actually pretty impressive. So what else can we talk about? An update on the reliability. So this pistol has been superbly reliable, with the exception of like 5 malfunctions, and they're all within the first like 100, 150 rounds, and they're all with 180 grain Underwood jacketed hollow point ammunition. And I really believe, rather than the ammunition's fault, I really think it was just the gun breaking in, because that was the first set of hollow points I bought from Underwood, was the 180s. Essentially what would happen is when you load it, or when you're firing, it wouldn't go all the way into battery. It happened like maybe 5 times out of like 50 of those rounds. So it would like go right here, and then all you have to do is tap it forward a little bit, and then it would go all the way into battery. I don't know if it was like the geometry of the bullet of the 180s versus the 155s I have, because I've put probably close to 100 rounds of the 155, and I haven't had a single issue with feeding out of that particular loading. The practice ammunition, I've used Sig practice ammunition, and I've also used the Remington ammunition. Those have all been 100%. All of those were 180 grains. So I fired primarily out of this gun. I fired 180s, and I fired 155s. So other than those five malfunctions within the first 150 rounds, you know, I haven't had a single issue, and I've fired 300 rounds to this gun so far. So it's still my favorite handgun that I own. I wouldn't give it up for the world. I just need to get a little more trigger time behind it, obviously, if you soften those groups. But yeah, I love it, and I would definitely recommend Rifleman Reviews definitely recommends this handgun, and you need to go pick yourself up one. The only thing that I could say that Sig could do better on, they need to make the 227 in a 10mm configuration, because if they can make the 220 with 10mm, they can definitely make the 227 in 10mm. That gives you 2 extra rounds. I still feel like this is the best production 10mm you can buy. There's a lot of 1911s. They were coming out in 10mm. I think the Sig P220 is a superior platform to a 1911, mainly because you have a double action, single action pistol. You have a double action, single action configuration in your trigger. Excuse me, in your trigger, and that's just preferable if you're going to carry the handgun. But you have the Glock. It holds like 15 rounds of 10mm. That's hard to argue with capacity, but I just think that the engineering going into making one of these firearms isn't comparable. It feels a lot nicer. It's pretty solid. I mean, there's minimal, and when I say minimal, I mean really minimal, like movement from slide to frame, fit to finish. You know when you're holding this thing and you're firing it, you're holding something of immense quality. So, not to knock on Glock, but when you're firing a substantial caliber like this, I don't think you can go wrong with this. And like I said, if Sig decided to make one in a 227, I'd buy that one as well without hesitation. So that's just to let you know how impressed I am with this, and I think if you can afford it, and if you're on the fence whether or not you should buy one, go out there and get it. You won't be regretting it. You won't regret it at all. So, but that's it. If you like this content, I'd appreciate it if you like, shared, and subscribe. Drop me a comment down below. Let's talk about the pistol, see what I can do, maybe suggestions for other videos, and just make the channel better. But appreciate you tuning in, and I look forward to hearing from you next time. Stay safe.